everybody, this is Pyra, and PAX East 2026 is on the horizon. As of today, November 6, 2025, we have badges available. They're fully live, hotels are fully live and ready to book, and whether this is your first PAX or you're a seasoned PAX goer, I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough of how much the badges are this year, new details regarding the badges, and just kind of give you some tips and tricks regarding maybe what days you should go versus what hotels you should look for. And if you need all things PAX East related, I'm Pyra. Think of me as your PAX East big sister. I've been going to PAX for several years now, and I make video series on my channel every year covering all PAX East news, guides, tips, tricks, etc. And this year is no different. So without further ado, let's look at badges and accommodations for PAX East 2026. So of course, if you go to the PAX East website, the badges are on sale button are right here. And as a reminder too, PAX East is going to take place in Boston, Massachusetts from March 26th, which is a Thursday, all the way through Sunday, March 29th at the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center, otherwise known as the BCEC. So easy enough, we go right to badges. Once you go here, it says right there, once a badge type is sold out, it will not be available at the show. Now, I've been going to PAX since like 2018, every year since, and the one thing that I will say is in recent years, it is not as rare as it used to be that badges will be available for a while. Now, back in 2018 and really pre-COVID, you would see badges sell out in day one for certain days. You don't really have that as much anymore, so I don't know if that is a trend that will continue forever. However, you probably have some time from watching this video to make a decision depending on what day you want to buy. But if I were you, I wouldn't wait too long, because the problem is once big content creators or special guests or maybe big gaming companies confirm their attendance at PAX, tickets will sell out right away, especially if there's a panel on a Saturday that's like super favorable. I know this happened when Matt Pat came on for the keynote a couple years ago on the Thursday, and then Square Enix for Final Fantasy XIV. Anytime that there's like a Saturday panel, tickets end up selling out. So that is my one caveat there. You have some time. I don't think you have too long though. So definitely consider your badges as soon as now. And so what your badge includes, it's really the entire show. So PAX East, you're going to have a big expo hall with a bunch of exhibitors that include both gaming, hardware demos, gaming adjacent things such as clothing, dice, art, etc. So your expo hall will be packed of all those type of vendors and opportunities. Of course, there are also panels that happen, guest appearances and autographs. There's a giant area for tabletop games. We have free play areas upstairs that include everything from arcade, VR, old school consoles, you name it. That doesn't even scratch the surface. I have tons of old videos of PAX things and what happens at PAX, but there are tons of things that happen at PAX, and your badge covers all of it. So, without further ado, let's look at the prices. The prices this year actually mostly stayed the same, which was really amazing. So for a 4-day badge, you're paying $250 per person, and that is for the 4-day badge, including Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is a very new one for this year, which is a kids 4-day badge. So this is for children 7 to 12. You will pay only $30 for the child, and they can go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Of course, there must be an adult accompanying the child, and that adult must have an adult badge. They must be an adult badge owner. So under 7, kids get in free, although I don't recommend bringing a toddler to PAX. However, I've seen plenty of people do it successfully, so if it works for you, then that should be a free option. Or if you're bringing a child that's more of like a pre-teenage, it's going to be the $30 4-day pass if you choose to go all 4 days. Now, the per-day pass for PAX, 3 out of 4 days have stayed the same in pricing at a $70 ticket. And Saturdays, for the first time ever, now has a new price. It is $7 more than the tickets for any of its other days. It went up to $77, and I just think that's because Saturdays are nuts. So I do wonder if that is to kind of accommodate for the chaos that happens on Saturdays. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this change. We're used to seeing an all across the board change, but in my experience of going to PAX, I think this is the first day change, where it's just a single day that is higher than everything else. So definitely a big difference from last year. And then the last thing here, of course, is bring your own computer add-on. So $50, it's BYOC. I almost just said BCEC. BYOC. What that means is some folks love bringing their PCs and parking it and playing on their PCs in the middle of the expo hall. It's a thing. I wouldn't do it, personally. Some people like showing off their rigs. Some people like just being able to play some of their own games in almost like a LAN party style with friends there. That is an option. At your own risk, there is a private area where your games are there. However, you know, it's an open room with thousands of people walking through, so take it with what you will. And this year, it is going to be $50 for you to bring your own computer. Of course, with that charge, you also have to have a badge. You can't just pay that and think you can walk in. You must be a regular badge holder as well. And now, important dates. So they gave us a nice, beautiful timeline. I love this. It's so great. Thank you, ReadPop. Important dates. So today, badges went on sale. February 15th is the badge mailing deadline. So if you want a badge mailed to your house versus having to pick it up at will call, you must purchase your badge by February 15th. And then this is something that they just, I believe, started implementing last year, but early bird pricing is going to end on February 21st at midnight. So what that means is after February 21st, prices will increase. And they do this really because of, I guess, A, trying to get more money, and B, trying to get you to book it sooner. I mean, it helps them as a business, and it kind of just keeps everything moving. So if you know you're gonna go, definitely try to get your badge in before the 15th. But if nothing else, try to get it by February 20th, technically. So February 20th is when it ends. And if you haven't bought your badge by then, anything that is left over is going to be marked up at an increased price. Now, February 23rd is the next important date here. That is for the Omegathon deadline. Omegathon is a whole weekend long like tournament that you can sign up for. I'll have information in a different video about that. However, the deadline to be considered for the Omegathon is on February 23rd. And then the last deadline here is March 23rd. So this is 3 days before PAX East's actual event. Week of show pricing starts. So it looks like there is an additional increase on March 23rd. And that says PAX East 2026 badge pricing increase week of the show. So the longer you wait, the more expensive these tickets are going to be. So before we move on to hotels, my advice as far as what you want to do, how many tickets you want to do, what days, Thursdays and Fridays are the best days to go to PAX. If you are somebody who loves walking around the expo hall, just kind of sampling a little bit of everything, Thursday is your best day, with Friday being a close second. It's the quieter days, way less longer lines, way less chaos, and I just find it a way more enjoyable experience to go on those earlier days. If you are somebody who really wants to see big panels, probably more bigger companies like Warframe panels have been there in the past couple years, Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering, that's really mostly going to be on a Saturday. Saturday is the most packed, for obvious reasons, between big panels and keynotes and everything happening, as well as Saturday, most people have off of work. So a lot of people will only go during Saturday and Sunday so that they don't have to take time off of work. So Saturday is going to be your best day if you want those opportunities. Sunday is a fine day. I find it to be the hungover day for a lot of people. And even if you don't drink alcohol, like, people are tired. Vendors are tired. Attendees are tired. The energy is like a mix of bittersweet, hopeful, and exhaustion, like pure exhaustion. So Sundays are still good. My least favorite, like my favorite day and least favorite day, like it's fine. Like Thursday is technically my favorite day. Sunday is like the bittersweet, like quick, try to get everything in while you can. Yeah, so that is kind of like my ranking of the days. Do I think a 4-day badge is worth it? Last year was actually my first year going on a 4-day badge between exhibitor and on a media badge. It was my first year with media at PAX. And if you are somebody who is part of the community, maybe you're part of the shout out to the Facebook group, the PAX East Facebook group. If you are somebody who really wants to make it like a large event and something that you hype up for months, get a 4-day badge. Like, honestly, you will have... There's too much to do to try to jam it into 4 days. There's a lot to do. If you are someone who wants to maybe peruse the expo hall a couple times, maybe stand in a couple lines, try a couple things, 1 day might be just fine enough for you. So really, it's going to depend on what your experience is. If you are thinking that there's not enough to do, there's so much to do. If you are somebody who likes to try a lot of different things, if you're someone who kind of wants to see what's new and that's it, maybe consider just a 1-day badge or just maybe 2 individual badges, depending on what kind of environment you want to go to, how you want to build out your con experience. And so that's kind of it on the badge portion of this. Now, the next one is the hotels and info portion, which is super important because this is way more competitive. Which I'm salty because of an issue happened earlier, but we fixed it. But hotels are way more competitive than badges right now. So right from the hotbar, if you go to hotels and travel, you can see right here the show location as well as the hotel registration. Now this button where it says book your hotel, this is for like kind of reserved blocks. If you've never booked a con before, they have special pricing with a lot of the area hotels that's locked in for them. So for instance, the connecting hotel to PAX East and the BCEC is the Westin. If I tried to book the Westin individually by itself, I'd be probably paying 2 or 3 times the amount of rate that I would through PAX East's booking website. And it's just because of it's like a reserving thing. They try to like really cap off certain numbers of availability, and a lot of hotels raise the price because there's a big event. So this is going to be, for anybody who's trying to stay locally to the event, the best pricing that you can get. However, if you're watching this video, you should have done this like now. Like, it is so competitive. So this is the website that you will get once you are in here. Select attendee type. I have access code is probably only for like big people. I've never been able to use this before. So the rest of us will be using the attendee right here option and make reservation. From there, this is, I think it's called conventions, housing conventions. This is where you are going to look up hotels. So of course, a couple things on here too. If you have a giant group, click this. It's a whole separate thing. It gives you a bunch of details here if you need assistance. I will say, I love the PAX East people. Like, whoever, the Connections Housing, I think is like the website that they use. I love these people. They are so helpful. I usually email them when I have an issue, but they like answer it instantly. They are so on top of their game, which is another reason why I would just prefer to go through PAX East, because they just, it's just so nice and convenient. Also, I heard this earlier. One of these photos I'm in. I've been seeing this all day. So this was last year's Facebook group photo, and I'm right there. I'm right there. So, sorry, just wanted to show that. But besides that, scatterbrain moment, you can choose the days that you would like to check in. You can choose the days that you would like to check out. So maybe you want a couple days, how many rooms you need, how many guests. And then by searching, you can just, like a normal hotel website, you can just find the hotel that's right for you. So there are a couple options. A, you can just search like normal, price low to high, distance near to far. But then B, if you're saying like, hey, Pyra, you said that the Westin's here, but I don't see it. That's because they automatically select show available. you can get out of that so you can see what availability is kind of there, what's not, or what is having wait lists. So that is actually what I did to get my room, because I typically go at the Westin. And so if you want a specific hotel, you might have to do a little bit of that extra digging in order to get in. But for the purposes of looking at this, what I would say is just go through and look at the pricing, look at what metric is important for you. And why I say that is because for someone like myself who works at the show constantly, like my 4 days at a show is both for pleasure and for work. Like it is a mix of me going because I'm a fan of gaming, and I also go for my full-time job and my full-time career and my side gigs. So for me, I want a close hotel. I will pay more money to enjoy the luxury of being in a connecting hotel. For some folks, like when I started at PAX East, I was traveling 20 minutes in to stay at a $75 a night hotel, which is totally valid too. Pick the hotel that fits your experience. It's not going to be the same for us all, and that's totally fine. And so you might want to filter this literally just by price, and you might want to filter it by distance, or if there's a hotel that you're like, ooh, I really love that hotel, you're going to have to kind of tailor this experience to what you need and what you want. So for the purposes of looking at this, we're going to say, okay, Omni Hotel. That looks good. It's across the street from PAX. And then once you click on it, it's going to show you what is available. So in this instance, their king room is available right away. You could just book a room with no issues. But this hotel here, this double queen, which is very popular because a lot of people bunk up with friends or, you know, cosplay friends, gaming buddies, stuff like that. And this room has partial availability, so you are not able to book it. It'll show you what days they're actually available versus what is fully booked up. And then you can go and try to book it, or if you can't, you can try to modify your selection, go find a different hotel, or the third option is that you can do a mix of two things. One is that certain hotels have a wait list that you can actually sign up through the site. And then another thing you can do too is email them, and the email info I will pull up on screen now. The PAX at connectionshousing.com. This is a fantastic email to reach out to just ask. Sometimes it's just worth asking. You don't know what you don't know. And I had this issue today where the hotel of my choice was not available for the full days. The waitlist was giving me an issue on the website, so I emailed them right away. I was able to get the waitlist entered on my end, and then they double checked. They're like, no, it's actually available, and they put me right in. So can't promise that'll happen for you. However, you don't know what you don't know, and sometimes if you ask nicely and they're able to make it happen, they will. So I've had good luck with it, and I've been booking through here for probably like 4 years now, maybe 3-4 years. So I recommend just look on here, see what is best for you. I'll actually show you what it looks like, the one I was talking about, the waitlist available. So you can go through right here and just sign up the same way that you would if you were buying it. You still have to enter your credit card information. They don't charge you until the stay, of course, but at least so that it holds that reservation. And then they'll send you an email. I think it says within 5 days you get an email to confirm if you were able to get that room or not. And so that's pretty much it. That's PAX East booking at a glance. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you're planning on going to PAX East next year. Have you already booked your hotel? Hopefully. Let me know what days you're looking forward to most. And please hit the like button and subscribe button. It means a lot to me and it helps me build the channel. And if you want to follow all things PAX East, I usually do Final Fantasy XIV, some Phasmo, some random variety games on my channel. That's like my bread and butter, but PAX East has a special place in my heart every year, so I try to make as much content around PAX as possible. So please hit all those buttons and let me know what you're looking forward to. And thanks for watching, friends. We will see you at PAX. Bye!